Hey, and welcome to The Sync, Episode 1. I almost forgot the name of our fucking show, Episode 1. Really? I've already forgotten the name of this. My name is Fred, and of course this week we have...
Skyler.
And Steve.
There he is. He's awake.
Did you almost forget your name?
I had a rough day today, okay? It's been a rough week.
Well, tell me about it. No,
We're off to a great start.
that's too lame. I was going to go with that. Like, well, tell me about it. Tell me about your week. Fuck that. That's kind of lame.
Well, that's a little rude. Fine, I didn't want to hear about your week anyway.
I mean,
Dick.
that's fine. We got more important things to talk about.
Yeah, we
Yes.
do. Are we going to talk about the more important
We're
thing?
not good at this
that
podcast
showed
thing.
off today, or are we just going to say, fuck it?
I didn't hear a word of that. Sorry. I was actually thinking of Skyler, like, we're not good at this. It's like, yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
Hey, you said you had a rough week. I'm a little brain dead.
We're still
But yeah,
trying
today
to.
we actually had a bunch of huge trailers and announcements and stuff. Funny enough, on our inaugural episode.
Yes.
It worked out.
L'chaim?
So the big one, of course, Nintendo showed
Nintendo
off
Switch.
the
Yes.
Switch, which is a terrible name.
No, it's a fantastic name.
Is it any better than Wii or Wii U?
NX was better.
No, the Switch is a beautiful name because it tells you what the console is.
Okay, so
It's a stupid name.
Just to voice my opinion, I am with Fred. It is a horrible name. After everything else they've had, it's pretty fucking stupid.
It's a terrible name.
But I'm doing what you always do. Support your hypothesis.
It's a stupid name. I mean, it's an opinion. I got no.
Support your hypothesis.
My support is I think it's a stupid name.
My support is my brain doesn't like it.
No, I think it's a stupid name. I think Switch is just too bland of a name.
A little bit.
I was hoping for something. Wii was kind of a funny, like, colorful, happy.
We would
Wii
like
would
to
be-
play.
Yeah, they had the "We would like to play" slogan, which, God, those were creepy commercials.
It was.
But they were effective and they were interesting, and it had a thing.
God, I miss the water.
Switch sounds like a fucking HDMI switcher I'd buy from Amazon
Fries.
for $20. It's not an interesting name.
I think it. I think it is though because they're breaking away from the Wii, which I think is a great thing to do. Wii U tanked. They need to get away from it. But it describes the console. It switches between a home console and a mobile console. It switches between a single controller and being the like new type of Wiimote type thing that slides on and off.
I can right now think of a better name for this console. You ready for this? HomePo.
What?
It's goofy, it fits Nintendo's weird-ass nature, and it's a home portable console.
It sounds more like you're calling it a homosexual console.
HomePo.
Well, whatever the hell we're going to call it.
I like that name.
One, I did think that they were going to give us a hybrid console. I'm happy that we have a hybrid console.
Yeah, there was a lot of rumors about that.
I like the fact that it is going to be a portable system because, let's face it, Nintendo has always had more luck with handhelds than they have with home consoles. At least in the last 10 years, they've had more luck with their handhelds than they have had with their consoles.
Absolutely. I'm kind of curious if it's going to replace the 3DS at all.
I'd be curious to see how. Because looking at it initially, it looks... The way the 3DS is compared... To,
Well, let's think about the trailer. It showcased at one point using cartridges, the little similar to the 3DS and
3DS
DS
cartridges.
It would be
did.
little cartridges, which I think would be the full games because it looked like he popped one in and then started playing Skyrim off of it.
Yes.
So I'm guessing they're going back to cartridge-based formats.
Well,
We'll get to Skyrim here.
they've already shown some stuff that they are going back to cartridges. I mean, they're a little bit more expensive to make, but it is proprietary. No one's going to be able to go burn a disc and shove it in there. It also, I mean, it kind of gives it that, like, niche, almost old school feel, like original Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
I miss blowing in the cartridges and shoving it in the console.
Yeah, that was.
Because, the harder you shoved it, the more it worked.
Which, by the way, that never worked.
I want to know, though, how that rumor spread. I've always wanted to know, because that started back before the internet was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like all the Pokemon rumors about you can find Mew under the truck.
Oh, yeah, I
mean,
totally
stuff
had
like
a
that.
friend who he didn't do it, but he knew a kid whose brother had a cousin who did it.
I think I can pinpoint the source. Gonna go out here and say it. It was that magazine that's dead now. that was always
Nintendo
around.
Power?
No, it was more general. It was fuck, what was it? Steve knows. Electronic Gaming
Apparently-
Monthly.
Okay, I was gonna say apparently
Yes.
Steve
EGM.
doesn't know.
EGM. That's it. It was absolutely them because they had a whole section of their magazine that was dedicated to rumors and speculation.
Yeah, I remember
That's
that.
exactly what it is.
I remember that.
Okay.
But anyway, the cartridge, I think it might be the replacement for a 3DS just based on the cartridge idea. I think
maybe.
it'll
I
be
don't
backwards
s-
compatible, maybe.
I don't see it immediately being a replacement for 3DS because the way the 3DS is set up with the dual screens, I can see them eventually more mainstreaming and making this their one central console for everything.
You know what? I actually just thought of a point against my point. They were asked if the screen on the Switch was touchscreen or not, and they didn't comment. Which could lead, they could say no. I mean, it's a no comment, but
And see, that's a lot of the 3D. I mean, the 3DS is still taking huge advantage of that touch screen.
yeah, you do still need
is.
touchscreen.
So
I mean,
it's
I could easily see them being kind of sister consoles. Maybe they have functionality with each other, but I still feel it's too big to be something you carry around in your pocket.
Oh, it is. It's the size of a large iPad.
Yeah, I mean, if
It
you
looks
take
like
it,
anyway.
it's still fairly decently sized, but the fact that you can place the screen down and then you can pull the controller sides off and play it like a Wii, I found that very cool.
I think it's really cool technology. I do think I love that Nintendo tries to innovate in this way, even though it tends to backfire on them.
But they're
well,
different.
it doesn't
Different-
backfire on them always. It backfired on them with the Wii U. The Wii, regardless of how it's kind of now a stupid, silly system, it revolutionized the gaming industry.
Well, it sold a lot of copies. It made a lot of money. I don't know that it revolutionized. I mean,
But what came after the Wii because of the Wii? The PlayStation sticks that look stupid? The Kinect?
PlayStation Move and Kinect did come because of the Wii.
I don't know if I'd say it's because of the Wii. I think that was a
Nintendo
because
was
they can't have developed the technology between the time that the Wii launched and the Kinect launched, which was only 2 years. They would have had to work overtime to get that kind of
I think-
technology put together.
I think
as a
I
reaction.
wouldn't say it's because of I think they inspired.
No, I think it was just a trend that was coming along. Nintendo got theirs out first, and did it better than Sony did anyway.
Wholeheartedly.
I guess really better than Microsoft, although Microsoft tried to take it a step further.
Right. I mean, it's
That I think was more of just projecting trends than anything Nintendo did.
Maybe-
like this whole VR craze.
I feel like it did drive a lot of the rush to get that stuff out there. I mean, Sony jumped on that hands down and just basically made a copy of how the Wii worked.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the PlayStation Move was.
Oh yeah, that
Move,
was
that's
definitely a
what it's
copy,
called.
Yeah, PlayStation Move.
Yeah,
Said it
which-
4 times.
which is now used for the PSVR.
And I hear it does not work well.
But see,
I've heard the same.
I've heard more. To me, that feels like it has more practicality.
What
it is
does?
very
The PlayStation Move in accordance with the VR.
Yeah, with VR you have to have. Well, I guess you don't actually have to have motion controls. There's a lot of it that works. That's cooler if you have motion controls. Like some of the games where you can see guns in front of you and you're shooting around. That wouldn't be as fun if you're just using a stick to aim or whatever, move it around.
I can see that. I mean, not having played with PSVR yet, which I know that makes me the uncool kid, but
Oh, I haven't played with it.
I have.
Have you?
he's the cool kid.
I've played around with it, and then what's the one that Microsoft is?
Microsoft doesn't have one.
No, they've got something at the Microsoft Store. HTC Vive? No.
Oh, they have a demo, I think, for either the Vive. I think it's the Oculus is the one that Microsoft has
The
demos for.
Oculus comes with an Xbox controller, so I could see that being it.
Yeah, there's something that they've got at Stonebriar Mall. It's in the Microsoft Store. They've got it sectioned off. It's a pretty big size. It's probably about the size of this room.
So for everyone listening, go to the Stonebriar Mall and look for the section that's cordoned off.
But it's decently sized, and it was really cool.
It was probably
would
the
be one of-
Oculus. I think Oculus is the only one that has in-store demos right now.
I think.
I thought the Vive had. No, the Vive is coming to Best Buy.
Yeah, because I want to get it like a demo of the Vive to show people because I feel like it's way better than Oculus.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting a little sidetracked.
yeah,
But,
the NX or the
Switch.
fuck it, I'm gonna call it the NX.
I like NX. I think that's at least a decent name. It's kind of got a mysterious thing to it. I don't know.
It's definitely got potential. I'm definitely going to be getting one because I've missed Nintendo launches.
They're not, the launches of a Nintendo system aren't necessarily important.
It's usually not. I mean, I really do feel like the mobility of this console is going to be a big thing. I get the feeling that with the Wii U, a lot of people prior to launch speculated that that gamepad could be taken away, and that's what drove a lot of the hype for the Wii U. And once people realized that it was tethered to the system, that kind of is what killed the Wii U, because then it was just a fancier Wii.
Well, to be fair, what killed the Wii U was lack of third-party support.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's kind of been into. That's why I'm kind of happy to see stuff like Skyrim.
They did feature Skyrim and NBA, both third-party titles.
So,
And they at the end of it, I think they showed a list of dozens of companies that have signed on to work on the NX.
so possible third-party support on top of their first-party titles, Pokemon, Mario, stuff like
Zelda,
that.
yeah.
Zelda's going to be one of the bigger ones on this console.
I'll get it just for Zelda. I'll get it.
There's still a little too much, I think, to sell me on this. I think it's a cool concept.
You want
How
more.
well does it work?
I wanna
What's
see
the
the
price
specs.
on
I want
it?
to see specs. Already, the prices have kind of been thrown out there.
They're all speculation, though.
It's all
Nintendo's
speculation, but we're
tight-lipped.
thinking 250 to 300.
Which,
It would have to even sell.
I mean, that's
Because
a
you can
reasonable
pick
for
up
a
a-
Nintendo
because you
console,
can-
though.
Because you can also pick up an Xbox One S for $300.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something competitive.
I'm worried that because it's this combo system, they're going to try and convince you that it's going to be more expensive. I could see them trying to push 350 on it.
Well, see, here's the interesting thing. As far as I can tell from what they showed, the system itself is that screen with the two side controllers.
It is. And the little U-shaped thing is just a dock, kind of
Right.
like for a laptop or something. It's just a
Right,
little
that's
docking
just a
station.
thing that you hook up to your TV in advance, and whenever it plugs into that, it just streams to the TV.
And
Yeah.
it does. They did say it powers the device and will charge it.
Right, which that's
portable
my
use.
biggest thing I want to find out. What is the battery life on this? Is this a
What's-
thing where if I take it off, it's like it has an hour without being plugged in?
Or are we talking like 3DS lifespan?
Yeah, am I talking like 3DS where I can leave the thing sitting on a counter for a week and then realize that I never plugged it in because it starts flashing?
There's no way this thing has a great battery life. I mean, with the amount of power it takes to run something like the Skyrim Special Edition that's coming out.
Well, that's why I want
That's-
to see specs.
Yeah.
Is it the special edition? Because
It
Skyrim
showed,
is an
yeah.
older game.
Well, you can tell the difference. I mean,
If you look, that looked like. But I mean, even then,
it had the lighting mods, it looked like it was the special.
yeah. But I mean, even then, 6 to 8 hours without having to charge it.
6 to 8 hours, I think that's a little much.
You think it's pushing
I don't
it?
think it's going to do that.
It
I think it's
depends.
going to be more of a 3-hour deal.
Well, I don't know, because you can run an iPad for about 6 to 8 hours.
But you can't run. It doesn't use as much power that it would. Or it doesn't use the same amount of power that it would take to run Skyrim, like it showed, or
Maybe.
the high-end graphics on like Zelda. Something
Streaming
like that.
It
movies it
depends,
does.
yeah.
Streaming movies through Netflix,
Streaming's very different. Streaming isn't as strenuous,
but
on
it sucks
your
up.
system.
It sucks up battery life
Well, yeah, it would.
because
I
you're,
guess-
because not only are you watching the show, but you're using the internet constantly. So you're constantly having to get that connection. It's just total usage is what's draining the power.
Yeah, that would also
That's
be a
kind
big
of what
factor.
that's what I'm referring to as.
But running a game is a lot more difficult to do than just streaming a video.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's all speculation. I
Yeah.
just want to see this information.
Yeah, they've.
March of 2017.
I'm skeptical. Yeah, and that's another thing that bothers me. It's coming out very soon.
Yeah,
That's,
it is.
what, 5 months away? 4 months away?
October, November, December, January, February, March. 5 months.
5 months.
But
yeah.
you know what?
They
I'm okay with that.
They have kind of been.
I don't know. 5 months with no price and no. If they had announced at least the specs of it right now, battery life and things like that, right now, then I could see I'd be more behind it. But
I mean,
with
Who's
no
to-
information,
but remember how long the wait for the Wii U was? Wii U, when it was first announced, had a ton of hype, and then it just died off because, I mean, it just went so long without any big news.
well, yeah, but it didn't go 5 months. It wasn't announced and then out in 5 months. It was announced and out in a year and a half or 2 years even.
Right. I think that's why maybe they're like, we're going to keep it under wraps. We're going to keep it mysterious.
It's kind of been under wraps for almost a year now.
Yeah.
Well, it's been speculated for almost 2 years now.
So-
but
But
it's-
stuff has been leaking slowly. I mean, very slowly stuff has been leaking for a while. They kept Fallout under wraps for how long?
But here's the difference. A $60 game I can purchase. I don't have to save up a lot of money. I don't have to
A
spend
$200 or
months saving.
$300 console, I can't get the money for in 5 months.
I get the feeling that this is marketed more towards the nostalgia crowd. Nintendo seems to really be banking on these older families who have more established economy or established income.
That's not Nintendo's base. They're the fanboys. They have to target. They always have to focus.
Who are people in their mid to late 20s to
It's not smart of them
30s.
to. No, I don't think they're focusing on their diehard fans as heavily as you think.
Maybe,
Because
I don't
they're
know.
not the majority crowd. They're the loudest crowd, but they're not the majority crowd. The majority crowd are the people who bought a Wii U to play Mario Kart. That's families. That's college kids. That's Steve. That's
Not gonna lie, that's one of the reasons I want a Wii U. Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, group games, fun games
Yeah.
that you can play with other people.
That
Game-
was a big
yeah,
thing in their
Games
trailer.
that could destroy friendships. Big ass air quotes.
but
I
accurate air
saw
quotes.
I saw the perfect I almost thought of getting it for you, Steve. I saw the perfect shirt the other day. It literally all it said is, "I'm sorry for what I said during Mario Kart."
That's amazing. I love it.
It's literally that's all the lines, and then just beneath that is a picture of a blue shell.
That is great.
That's a Steve. That's me.
But no, they're targeting. I mean, think of how many people picked up the Wii. It wasn't diehard fanboys who bought all the Wii stuff. It was the families. It was people
Yeah.
with little kids.
Oh, my grandparents got a Wii just because of bowling.
Yeah, that's who they're
Dude,
catering
Wii
to, or that's
Sports
who they
was
should be
the
catering
shit.
to.
This has to come with like Switch Sports, right?
It's got to come with some gimmicky little bullshit thing like that. It's got to.
Because each remote looked like it could pull off, and then each person used that as their own individual Wii remote, so to speak.
That reminds me, I wanted to bring this up. If you look closely, the logo for the Switch is basically kind of like the two half squares with a circle on one up top and a circle down below.
It's the controllers.
It's the controllers, because when you slide the controllers off and you hold them, each one is the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is genius. I love that.
Yes.
That's
I
why they
love that.
showed, like, they were playing Mario Kart in that van, which is the creepiest fucking example. They're
That
rolling
van-
around in a windowless
That van
van.
is
That was pretty
badass. I
funny.
love that van.
But they were showing, they had each half of the controller turned sideways playing, just like you would with a Wii remote.
Right.
And it has about, each half of it has about the same number of buttons as a Wii remote had.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like.
And I like that the real controller, this is just me personal preference, it's designed almost exactly like an Xbox One controller.
Well, their current
it's-
Pro controller basically is
Yeah,
a
it's designed
360
like the-
controller.
I like that. I like the button layout, the stick layout on an Xbox controller more than a PlayStation controller for certain games.
Yeah, that's how they've had the, all the Pro controllers since the Wii have been that same style.
Because it's just like, the sticks next to each other for shooters. It's weird.
Yeah, Game Informer actually recently did like a ranking of controllers from like worst to best, and because of the design of the thumbsticks with Xbox controllers, the top 5 were like all the Xbox controllers. I
Yeah.
think there was maybe like the DualShock 4 was 3, but literally it was like the Mini Duke, the 360, the second 360 controller, the Xbox One controller, the
The
Xbox
Duke.
One Elite.
No, it's not the Duke.
The Duke was
a
actually
terrible
lower
controller.
down because of its size.
It's terrible.
I love
It's-
the Duke.
It was a horrible controller. Speaking of the controller, have y'all seen the internet's reaction to that thing? It is adorable. It looks like a puppy. It looks
Yes, I
like a square-faced
saw
puppy.
that.
And I've
Wait.
seen so much fan art and stuff. It is.
Oh, for
it is
the Switch?
adorable. For the Switch controller.
Because
yeah.
there was,
I have not seen it.
I have seen two
adorable.
controllers. There's that one where you can take the sides off.
That's
and
the-
put them on the controller.
That's the another terrible name. The Joy-Con controllers.
Because yeah,
hurts
it's,
me to
it's,
say.
it's the sides of the portable part on the controller, and
Yeah.
then you've got like the Elite styled controller.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
two different controllers. They're gonna have a Pro like they've had with the Wii and Wii U.
Yeah.
That's what they were showing.
Well, that was not all that was announced. Should
Oh, we got a bunch of trailers.
switch to the other trailer that was.
If I
big
had
today?
something to hit you with, I would.
What would I do?
I don't care about you.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking to Skyler.
Yeah. But hold on, before we switch over,
Fuck you.
why did you just take your pants off?
Because it was hot.
Why did you have pants on under your pants?
Who says he does?
I'm looking at them.
Are you?
Oh, I'm not. Sorry, I'll stop.
It got hot. I mean, what do you want from me?
I'll stop. I'll take a drink to that one though.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I got hot. What do you want from me?
Uh,
BTFU.
well, fine. Speaking of hot, deserts are hot cowboys. There you go.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, you're great at segues. But yeah, there are a bunch of other trailers as well.
Isn't a Segway the little thingy you steer with your crotch?
You don't steer it with your crotch,
I mean, it basically is your core that controls it.
which isn't your crotch. Is the center of your mass in your dick? What?
I mean,
I don't know about you, but I gotta wrap it up like Dragon Ball Z style. Wrap it around my waist.
It is the
Is it like
meatiest part of the
Cell's tail?
body.
You gotta.
It's the old Saiyan tail. You gotta wrap it around your waist. Use it as a belt.
God damn it. That's the type of quality you'll get from this podcast going forward. Yes, there were other trailers, and in my opinion, better trailers. Stuff I'm more excited about. Like fucking Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Brain fart.
Okay, if we want to say the Switch is a bad name, we're going to come back to this. I don't like them calling it Red Dead Redemption 2.
I don't either.
Based on what it appears to be.
Because, and I don't know if y'all know much about Red Dead Redemption.
I got to Mexico.
Should we
Okay.
go ahead, real quick, should we go ahead and say this is fair territory? If you have not played Red Dead Redemption 1 and you are going to go play it and you're actually going to get to the end, which kudos to you if you can do that, we're covering spoilers here, so go do that now.
We will talk a little bit of spoilers as part of that. I do admit.
I got to Mexico.
So you made it to Mexico. How far did you get, Skyler?
I beat the game, so I know what happens.
Okay.
But
I
you
know
kind
what
of have to
happens,
talk
it's
about
been
what...
spoiled.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to talk about what happens to talk about 2.
Yeah, but before we get into the story aspects of it, though,
Okay.
that trailer was gorgeous.
It was.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, that looks good.
I mean, it reminds me of like the GTA trailer they showed that was just, look at nature.
That was the that was for the PC launch, which was in 4K. This they said was recorded on a PS4. They didn't say Pro or not. I'm betting a Pro,
Probably.
but still, that's recorded on a console. That looks gorgeous. In fact, they don't have a PC
Yeah.
release. I just thought about that.
But real quick, did anyone else get that like lingering thought because of the first Red Dead every time you saw an animal that you're going to have to chase that down on foot with a knife?
My first thought when I saw the buffalo is, oh my god, that's going to be a gruesome kill. I'm excited.
Can you run the buffalo over with the train?
Probably. I bet you can. You could in the first... Well, you could run over
Think there'll be an achievement for
horses
tying
and
one
rabbits
up?
and stuff.
And throwing it on the train tracks?
There better be a Dastardly too.
There better be a dastard.
Oh, there better be something.
Just
but-
make it.
So I guess this is where we're going to start getting into spoiler stuff. So skip ahead probably 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't know.
let you know when spoilers are off, and you won't hear because you won't be listening. So
Yeah. But, so at the end of Red Dead... Oh, you already said you had it
Yeah,
spoiled.
everybody spoiled it for me like 3 weeks after the game came out.
At the end of Red Dead, you play as John Marston through the whole game, and it's about this whole redemption story. Great story, and then at the end, you get gunned down, and the final mission, you play as his son,
right.
who has to go and get... I think he goes and gets revenge, is that right? I can't remember exactly now.
No,
It's
the
been
final
years.
mission is basically you're just at their graves.
Oh, okay. That's right. But yeah, you end up playing as his son at the very end, which is a cool little twist ending. I thought it was a beautiful ending.
Yeah.
That's very creative.
I wonder where 2's going to take place.
It looked like more New Mexico. It looked more New Mexico, Utah, Arizona, more that part going north.
I don't think so because the map... And first off, if you don't know, Red Dead is based... It's kind of like GTA where it's based on a real world location, but it's
Right.
not actually accurate.
Wasn't Red Dead more South Texas, Big Bend country?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you go down
Yeah, it
into
was just-
Mexico. You know, the fantasy country of Mexico.
Yeah.
But it's more based around Big Bend, Eagle Pass, places down there.
Yeah, it's all southern Texas, northern Mexico.
I think actually one of the cities just flat out... Wasn't one of the cities like El Paso or San Antonio?
No, they never used real names.
They never-
There was one
had-
that was like really close because I remember
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
that and being like, I've been there in real life.
There was a San something, I think, that was pretty close.
Yeah.
But it was... You know what? Actually, it was kind of weird because they had snowy mountains. So it had to extend
see,
up into...
That's why I'm thinking it's more New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado.
I mean, the first
Utah.
one.
Oh,
The first one had... It extended up into snowy mountains.
It probably there are mountains in Arizona, I believe. If
Yeah,
not,
it-
there's
Yeah, no, there's mountains in Arizona.
so it's conceivable that it's Arizona, New Mexico, Texas.
It's
Mexico.
that whole area. If So earlier, a map was leaked that hinted at Red Dead 2, and it showed one of the main towns from the first game as being the southern edge of the new map. So it could make sense that they're moving further north with this.
Looking at the terrain, it looks a little bit more north because there weren't a whole lot of buffalo in Texas
No, that was more
back during
north.
this time. Yeah, they were more northern plains. So that's why I'm thinking this is more north. Oklahoma. I'm still thinking it's more along that
Yeah.
that little in between California and Oklahoma. That just group of states going up maybe to towards the Dakotas.
Well,
yeah, it's
maybe.
hard to say how far
it's-
north it would go.
At this point, that's all pure speculation.
It's all speculation.
Most of this talk is going to be
I know-
speculation, though.
The big thing that most people are interested in is, does it take place after Red Dead Redemption or before? A lot of people think it's before because they think it's John Marston and his original gang.
That could be. So that was one thing I noticed. At the end of the trailer, it shows 7 cowboys riding off,
Yeah,
which makes me think multiplayer. Immediately, I thought GTA Crew style thing.
sure.
Oh, I expect to see it there. I mean, the original Red Dead had where you could form a gang.
Oh, that's right, it did. I forgot Red Dead had a multiplayer. I never touched
Not
it.
many people played it, and the people that did were so good that no one wanted to play against them.
But especially after the success of GTA Online, a Red Dead Online makes sense. I think it'd be an interesting thing. I'm curious to see how they're going to do that, though, with the whole Red Dead economy and the time period.
Fred,
It could be really cool.
Fred,
What's up?
train heists.
Oh my god. That would be amazing. That would be incredible.
Knocking over a train.
Yeah.
Instead of having like you go back to the apartment, you go out to like just out in the middle of the woods.
You go back
We're
to
gonna
camp.
rob this bank.
Oh man, there's some cool stuff you could do with that.
Oh, I'm so excited
So
now.
it seems like there's a lot more potential than we thought.
Oh, I think so. I
yeah.
think especially after the success of GTA 5 and how much people have been wanting Red Dead, they're not going to hold back punches.
Yeah, because haven't there been rumors and speculations of a Red Dead 2 since that point where you played as his son? You're like, all right, they've got to do another one.
Oh, they set it up perfectly for a sequel. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
they even
did.
had stuff that was left off, like you'll get to do this in the sequel.
Yeah. No, the sequel's been rumored for a long time, and there's been all kinds of hints and rumors and, meeting calls that people have overheard, all kinds of little stuff.
Little stuff leaking, an RD at the end of a message, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All sorts of weird stuff. But I don't like, if it's a prequel, I don't like that it's Red Dead Redemption 2, because the whole point of Red Dead Redemption is you are redeeming yourself for your past sins.
Wouldn't this technically be the third game in the series?
Yes.
Well,
Red Dead Revolver, wasn't that the first one?
yeah, not really. The way Rockstar has said it is because they didn't make Red Dead Revolver. That was made beforehand, and then they acquired the property afterwards.
Okay.
They said Red Dead Redemption is more of a is more of like a cousin franchise to Red Dead Revolver.
Sure.
So Red Dead Redemption actually has nothing to do, as
It's
far as
the-
I know, at least on the surface, it has nothing to do. I'm sure people have found connections
Sure.
Well,
beneath the waves, but
I think a lot of like the original characters you hunted down in Red Dead were based off of characters from Revolver.
that may be something like that. But it's
it's
supposed to be
Small
a
subtle
new
connections.
deal. It's
Yeah.
not supposed. It's supposed to be kind of separated.
From
Sure.
my understanding, it's kind of like the Legends, like the Star Wars Legends saga, how they went and retconned everything, and now it's its own block of stuff.
Sure.
This is basically Red Dead Revolver is kind of like that. It's there. If you wanted to be part of the Red Dead universe, sure, whatever, go ahead, but we don't consider it.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't think it's. I don't know. I'm very excited. Red Dead Redemption was one of my favorite games
Oh, it was
back
fantastic.
then. Which it's
7 years. It's been
Yeah,
almost
that sounds
it's been
about right.
6.5 years.
Yeah, it came out in 2011.
The original date for its release was March 23rd, 2010.
I thought it was 2011. It was March. It was an early release.
It was March 20th. It was March 23rd because
But
March 27th April 27th. Because the date was actually my ex's birthday.
that's a way to remember it.
That's the only way I remember it. So,
But fuck, I had a thing I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
Lost it. I lost it.
Yeah, okay.
We'll be back after
Well-
these messages.
So
And Steve just turned into a Murloc.
is that what that noise was?
I don't know. Any Murgle Gurgle sounding thing is a Murloc.
Murgle gurgles.
I think that actually is the name of a Murloc in the game. Yes, I played WoW. Make fun of me. I don't care.
So, Green Man, what are your last words? Good last words. We'll talk about that later. I'm so excited to talk about that. But, yeah, so there was Red Dead came out. The trailer for that came out.
Guardians 2.
Yeah, a bunch of movie trailers. Well, 2 movie trailers that I'm excited
Two
about.
big movie
ones.
trailers. One I'm excited about. The other one, I don't know how I feel with how they're going along with it.
We'll start with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Volume.
Got its teaser. It was not a full trailer.
Dude, it was still a fantastic teaser.
It was well done. I am blown away just by the look. Even though you got quick glimpses, I don't know if y'all know this. This will be the first film shot in full 8K.
Yes,
Oh.
I did know that. So it's going to be gorgeous.
The effects in it are gorgeous. It looks really pretty.
Space is always pretty.
You need a hug. No, man, I'm good. Come here.
Yeah, end it with a...
So I actually have to ask.
Oh,
I
by the
gotta
way,
ask.
we are done talking Red Dead Redemption spoilers at this point.
Yes, and because you
there you
were
go.
completely not listening, but were able to hear us say that we're done, you can start listening again.
I may do something in
Yeah, I
post
was
to
about
let
to
them
say,
know.
can you put a little thing if you do, skip to this time mark?
Yeah, I'll do something.
Okay,
is that
we'll do
possible?
something for them,
Yeah.
for those people.
But
I'll
yeah,
help out some
Guardians
friends.
2. It looks just as, if not, like it'll be funnier. It looks like they're going to have more of a humorous interaction with each other.
Well, I mean, the first one was all about its humor.
But I mean, they got the introductions out of the way.
Yeah, now
Now we
there's
can
no
do a lot
introductions, so now we're going to start building on more relationships with each other. It's like the hug.
Well, what's got me more interested is how they're going to build the relationships between Guardians and the rest of the MCU.
Yes.
Well, before we go into that, I want to point out, so the trailer really only showed off for the most part, the original Guardians.
Let's shut off the
nuh-uh.
original Guardians and Nebula.
Yeah.
It shows off
and
Nebula. There are others, though, who are part of this movie that have already been
yeah, it
confirmed.
showed off Yondu.
Yondu,
Oh, and Yondu, yeah.
is one of the Guardians now, and I guess there's a whole big thing about his fin. I haven't read the comics, so I'm not fully sure what that is. I know it's important, but I don't know why. There's also someone named Taserface is supposed to be a big character in this one, as well as
The big thing with this one is Quinn meeting back up with his dad.
They said that's not going to happen in this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's not part of this. I mean, they're definitely going to touch on it, but that's not.
Okay.
But they have cast someone for his father role, so there might be an appearance
Yeah,
of
it's
his
somebody
father.
big.
It could be.
I know they have cast. I've seen who they've cast for it. I just don't remember who it is. But it's one of the bigger names.
Mel Gibson.
Maybe they are going to show. I could have sworn he had said in an
that's not
interview he
Logan.
wasn't going to do it this time.
Because
But maybe it
I know
is.
they made mention of it at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
So we know the guy that Yondu was supposed to take Quill back to was his father.
Guardians, to me, Guardians was like the revival of the Marvel Universe. Because it had a bunch of really cool, great stuff. Avengers came out and that was awesome, and then it kind of stagnated, and then Guardians hit, and it's like, okay, we're back to
Gen
Marvel being
2
good.
was... Gen 2 didn't really offer a lot until Guardians and Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's
No, Civil War is part of Gen 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
yeah, I think it
Phase
is.
3. Sorry, it's phases.
Phase 3. Okay, so because Phase 2 was Thor Dark World, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man 3.
I don't know. I actually
I'd
don't
have
know
to
where
think,
they draw
yeah,
the line.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just
that
because
really all
it was
Phase
Iron.
2?
Yeah,
No, they had more than that.
no, it was Iron Man, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Avengers. The second Avengers.
No, Captain America: Civil War was part of Phase 2. Because
I don't
it went
know. I
Civil
don't know where
War
they draw
and
the
then-
line
Yeah,
anymore.
Civil War and then Age of Ultron. Because there was things that happened in Ultron.
Age of
that
Ultron's after or before Civil War.
It was after Civil War.
Age of
Age
Ultron.
of Ultron was before Civil War.
Civil War
No,
came
not
out this
Civil
year.
War. Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Oh,
Yeah, Winter
okay.
Soldier.
That's what I
Phase
was
2.
thinking. Yeah, Winter Soldier is the one I was thinking of.
Okay, I was gonna say you're mixing that up. Big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like Guardians is what really kicked off the heavy Marvel humor, because that's what led into Ant-Man, which was hilarious.
Well,
Ant-Man was the other one, part of Phase 2.
I swear that's part of Phase 3.
No,
I don't know where the
Ant-Man
line is.
Ant-Man is Phase 3.
Maybe we just need to
But-
have a timeline of the phases.
Yeah.
They've got it out there. No, the big thing for Guardians of the Galaxy was it's the first property that's not an A or B list superhero team.
Yeah,
It's
the whole
not
reason.
Captain America. It's not Iron Man. It's these unknown characters that the general public has no clue about, and it did really well.
It's the whole reason why I'm excited that there's like announcements of a Squirrel Girl movie now being added to the lineup, because I know nothing of the character. I know she's hilarious and considered one of the best by the fans, but she's like the most C-list character you can get.
Guardians enemy Thanos, he was big in the Hulk universe.
Isn't he
but
like
to the general public, he's not big.
But isn't he
he's
like
not
the
much of
ultimate like rival to the Hulk?
Yes, he's the only one that can hypothetically kill the Hulk.
In the comics, there are a bunch now. There are a bunch of people that can kill the Hulk now.
In the original Hulk comics, though, he was the only one that could, because that's the whole origin of Planet Hulk was.
Which they are going to cover in Thor 3, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah,
That'd be
super
kinda cool.
excited about
I just
that.
love the description of Thor 3. It is Thor and Banner on a buddy romp through the galaxy.
That is awesome.
Ragnarok.
But that leads to a good point. I think Guardians 2 is going to be where they're starting to connect Guardians to the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
They have to, first off, for Infinity War coming up. They said they're going to be part
The
of it.
Infinity Stones are more revolving in the Guardians of the Galaxy universe anyway.
Actually, I have a quick question. Are the cartoons all connected to, like, the cartoons that show up on primetime TV and all that, are those considered at all part of, like, the Marvel Cinematic
The only
Universe?
thing that counts towards the Marvel movies is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's
and
it.
the Netflix series.
And
Yeah.
the Netflix. Okay. Well, because the reason I'm asking is I've not watched them, but I've seen commercials where, like, the Guardians have teamed up with Spider-Man and stuff in the cartoons.
Oh, yeah. No, those
don't count. Those are
Okay.
for kids.
Those are off.
No, the only things that truly count towards the whole Marvel universe are the movies, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and everything on Netflix. So
Okay.
Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Daredevil.
Speaking of which, finished Luke Cage, phenomenal.
That is the best Marvel series so far on Netflix.
I really like Daredevil season 1.
I'm not trying to put down Daredevil or Jessica Jones. In fact, Jessica Jones was my favorite Netflix original series until Luke Cage came out. And I've seen a lot of Netflix originals.
Luke Cage does a very good job of making a realistic superhero.
Well, it had that perfect mix that Marvel's known for. It had that little bit of humor, but it was still darker in tone like the rest of the Netflix series. I think it was the perfect blend of both sides of the Marvel mentality.
Maybe, yeah. Have you seen it yet, Steve?
No.
Okay, well, we won't spoil
Yeah, I'm
it.
not gonna.
It's still
I'm not
new,
gonna
so-
spoil. I'm not even gonna talk about
I'm
Luke
trying to
Cage,
get
but
through all the DC Universe TV shows.
Stop. Just stop.
I
Pick
like
one.
them.
You gotta pick
Well,
one.
the TV shows, yeah. I thought you meant for the
The movies?
DC movies.
No, I'm
Yeah.
going through all the DC TV shows. So Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow. They just put Legends of Tomorrow on Netflix.
Yeah, I would slow your roll on those and start mixing in the Netflix series. Those are so far above and beyond the CW stuff, which I like. I like Arrow. I like the Flash.
Yeah. Then you'll
I
finally
even
get
kind of
our-
like Legends in some weird way.
You'll finally get all of our weird jokes we make about them.
You mean the
Watch
Jessica
it
Jones?
now, Steve.
You realize I want to punch you all when you start doing that shit.
Watch
There's a
Jessica
reason
Jones
you wanna
and
punch us all.
you'll understand.
So,
Do it now,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Jessica.
trailer
But
was fantastic. I'll let you go first with Logan before I jump into it,
okay,
because
I absolutely love the Logan trailer. As both a lover of film and as a lover of the X-Men in the Marvel, well, it's not really Marvel universe, but it's the Marvel characters. I love this trailer. It was beautifully done. It had a strong emotional impact, which I did not
Yes.
expect
Yes.
from Wolverine.
That's
Especially after seeing The Wolverine,
Yeah.
which was it started off really cool and then got ridiculous about halfway through.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is, especially with ever since Days of Future Past, they're basically rewriting the entire X-Men franchise and retconning out all the older movies.
Well, this one's a little different. This is supposed to be Hugh Jackman's last Wolverine movie, which I know he said before, but
no. This
This
is
is supposed to
officially
be his
the
last.
one.
This is his last one until he
Wait.
wants the paycheck again.
No, when you watch the trailer, this is it.
well, if you know the story, this is it.
Oh,
So
okay.
this may get into possible spoilers for Logan.
The
I'm
movie's
not
not
sure.
out. Can we talk about comics? I mean, I feel like that's...
The comic,
Well,
they're
because
gonna,
this
they,
makes-
they take a lot from the comics. Yes,
This may spoil the movie, is why I mention it.
Okay.
There's a potential, so just a heads up is all I'm giving.
Yeah.
But this is gonna follow. This follows the Old Man Logan, that's not actually what it's called. I don't know what it's actually called, but everyone calls it the Old Man Logan series, which leads to his death.
Right.
That's his
which
finale.
Makes me wonder. I think
gone.
I know who the little girl is.
I know who she is.
Is it X-23?
It's X-23.
Okay,
Absolutely.
that's what I thought.
That's part of the story.
But it's all about the thing that I'm very worried about is they're gonna get too emotional. They're gonna get too sappy and depressing. And I mean, yeah, Xavier dies. Super spoilers, but if you watched the trailer, you see it.
Well, he's also like 103 in the trailer.
Yeah, he's old. He's old as fuck,
an old
and he's
fuck.
already died once.
Well, I mean, that's something that I feel like people should know. Eventually, Xavier dies because isn't there the?
No, he dies again. This is the second time he's died.
Okay, now I'm confused because I know there's the meme
In the
that
movies,
is,
even in the comic books, he does come back.
Well, we're not necessarily the comic books, but
But even if you're
in the
watching all the
movies.
X-Men movies, remember he dies in X3 and then comes back at the secret
Oh,
ending.
yeah, he does.
He died because
forgot that.
Phoenix blows him up, and then if you watch the very end, Moira McTavish is sitting there,
Yeah.
they reveal that, and then he turned, she's doing stuff with him. The guy turns his head and goes, "Hello, Moira." And then it blanks out. That was kind of one of the things that first started those secret endings.
Yeah.
Because they never explained how he comes back for Days of Future Past. And even at the end of The Wolverine, Magneto shows up. He's got his powers back. And Xavier rolls up. And Logan looks at him and goes, "You're supposed to be dead."
Yeah.
I'll explain that later. So they never fully explain in the movies how he died the first time. But this is the second time he dies.
Okay.
Sorry to go off on that tangent, but I have to...
Well, the big takeaway here is this is set in the future, pretty
Yes.
far in the future. I think it's like 30 or 40 years
After
after the modern X-Men. I guess X3. It's like 30, 40 years later after X3.
Okay, X-Men's very hazy for me because it's
It's
not
weird.
owned by Marvel.
20
and
years
so much of it's
after-
getting retconned.
Take Days of Future Past, that whole post-apocalyptic, they went back and rewrote it. Now it's like 20 or 30 years after they've rewrote that history.
Well, but it's set in the future to modern day,
Yes.
which that was set in the 80s. Oh, you mean the...
Days of Future Past, the future part of it.
It's like Skyler said, it's
Yeah, 'cause-
weird and hazy.
Yeah, because First Class was the 60s, Days of
But-
Future Past the 70s, the next one's going to be in the 80s.
I hate to say it, X-Men right now is kind of in the same boat as Fantastic Four. Once it's set and it's in a good spot and they are going to keep it, I'll care.
Well, I think that with the new movies, they've helped to fix some of the problems.
I feel
of
like
the
they're
original.
getting there.
They're getting there. Fantastic Four is not getting there.
No.
They're not going to get there
I
at
mean,
this
it's-
rate. But
I'm kind of waiting for them to merge it back into Marvel though, because it's there, but it's like Marvel can't get the rights to get back in there. I mean, even like in Deadpool, they flat out throw out, there's only two of you. I think there'd be more of you X-Men people. What, you only get the rights to you two?
yeah,
So
Logan looks amazing.
it looks amazing.
And
I'm scared it's going to be a little bit too... It's going to be more of like a drama than...
yeah, but it is still Wolverine, and they showed plenty of action in the little trailer.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. In fact, I'm excited for that. I think that's going to be great. It's not going to be lighthearted. Of course not.
No,
It's Wolverine anyway. It's going to be on the darker side. It's going to be definitely gruesome.
It is rated R. They have come out and said it is going to be rated R.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and it looks like a great film on its own.
Yeah.
I'm interested. So, do y'all want to say anything more about the Wolverine stuff, or?
No master of segues. Please continue.
well,
Yeah,
I was
I'm
going to
calling
say,
you out.
while we're talking about movies, there's one that Steve, I know you probably saw. Did you see that they're re-releasing the first Pokemon movie in celebration of the 20-year anniversary?
It's coming out in the theaters.
October 29th at Cinemarket Legacy. Yes.
They're doing it at a lot
Well,
of theaters.
yeah, nationwide.
Nationwide, they're only doing it at 200 theaters. But in Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the closest one to us is going to be Cinemarket Legacy.
I didn't know if you'd seen it. They were doing. I saw it on
Trust
Saturday
me,
the other day.
I've seen it. I has
Now,
seen it.
here's the real question: if you go to the re-release of it, are you going to get that Mew card they gave out way back when? You know what I'm talking about, right?
They gave the Ancient Mew
yeah.
card for Pokemon 2000. Not
Was
the
it
original
2000?
movie. Yes. Ancient Mew came with Pokemon 2000.
No.
Because yes.
I could have sworn it was
it
the
came
first
out with
one.
the first one because
Yeah.
that's the one involving Mew.
Yeah, because
There was a regular Mew card, and then there was an Ancient Mew card that came with 2000. Ancient Mew came with 2000.
The regular Mew
I can tell you
came with
this: I don't have a
2000.
regular Mew card. I have an ancient one.
That went with 2000.
I've only seen the first movie.
I
Whipping out
guarantee
Google.
I guarantee you Ancient Mew was the first one because it was the picture from that first movie when they're explaining like how Mewtwo was made. And we have gone way off the deep end into 90s nerd territory.
But Master of
Google.
Segways, it does lead into our next topic.
Yes.
Pokemon.
But hold on, I want to be right about this.
I want to be right first. Hold on.
Pokemon card came with
I wonder if I still have that old
Pokemon
card.
The first.
I've got it in a box somewhere.
I'm pretty sure I got it in a box somewhere. I used to have a bunch of Pokemon cards.
Pokemon
but I
the
lost
first
them.
movie was a Dragonite card, or it was a Mewtwo, Dragonite, Pikachu, or Electabuzz special edition card.
I don't have.
There was only
any of
4
those.
cards for the first movie. It was a promo card because each one of them had the little thing up in the top right-hand corner. Ancient
Could've
Mew
sworn
came with
theaters.
Pokemon the movie 2000 because after that, after those supplies ran out, they went to Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres.
Why would they give out a Mew card for a movie that's not about Mew?
Because the Ancient Mew card was about the collector. The guy who was trying to get the 3 legendary birds, he was a collector. He started his collection with an Ancient Mew card. After his ship is destroyed, the only thing he picks up and finds is his Ancient Mew card.
And I'm bored.
I actually just watched all of them. Not 3 days ago, so...
And you don't have time to watch Luke Cage or
I
Jessica
got more
Jones.
important shit I'm watching.
No, you don't. Clearly you don't. You just watched all the Pokemon movies.
And I'm
So-
watching all the series again, and I'm on Pokemon X and Y.
I just
You're
pulled
only
it up
proving my point.
Am I
on
right?
Bulbapedia. This card was released as a promotional card in the year 2000. It was given out with the purchase of a ticket for the theatrical run of The Power of One.
Yeah, I don't believe it. So
On a side note, I do not remember any of them being called The Power of One. What movie was that?
Power of One was Pokemon 2000.
That was just Pokemon 2000? Was that
Yeah.
like the subtitle name? Okay.
I'm lost too, audience. Don't worry.
Steve
So
was
yes.
right. That's all that fucking matters.
I should
So
have just let you segue into the demo.
on to the demo. Pokemon
Yes.
Sun and Moon demo came out. And
Yeah, it did.
what's funny is I know what y'all want to talk about. That's not at all what I want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about how it's been broken to shit already.
Oh, yeah. No, we're going to bring that up too.
Explain, bro. Okay, I have not heard anything of the broken to shit. I played it the day it came out. That's all I've played of it.
So
Oh, I got
first,
the shit data mined out of it.
oh yeah, so the majority of the Pokedex was revealed because they just went through and looked at all the code. But there's some that aren't, like there's special ones that aren't in the demo that you can't see. But
Well, and
it
all
was
we have
basically
is-
800 of the Pokemon.
Right, and
were
all we
revealed.
have is the sprites. So we don't know the names for anything. We don't know their types or any of that. All they were able to find is pictures.
They didn't get the. It's not just the sprites. It's the. I mean, it's the full like character pictures that they've got.
Oh, I thought it was
Just the whole
uh,
Pokedex entry. I did hear something about that from Kotaku. That they,
Yes.
I saw just a caption, Sun and Moon data mined.
Yeah, it's that got screwed up, and
So
it's
is it-
already on an emulator. By the way, it's already on a 3DS emulator, so you can play it on your PC if you want. And they've already made graphical improvement mods to it, to the demo.
Oh, the demo. I was going to say, I did not see anything about the game itself being...
No,
leaked
not the
onto
full
a
game. The
computer.
demo is on through an emulator. They were able to make a graphics mod, which just made it cell shaded,
Yeah.
which makes it look a million times better.
Maybe, I mean, that's... PC's always going to find stuff that makes it look better in one sense or another, and it could be too. We'll never
Well,
know.
it runs on a 3DS. It's just running through an emulator on a PC.
So-
to run on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I see
As
what
far
you're
as the Pokemon, they're not adding 800 new Pokemon. Are
No,
they?
no,
They
no,
just
the
revealed
full-
that the Pokedex is up to 800.
I guess
saying.
so.
So you know how each game has its region's Pokedex of
Sure.
things you can catch in that region? There's over 800 available in that region.
No shit.
Yeah, I mean, the full Pokedex now is up to
721.
I'm
721.
sad that you know that.
721. Well, I had to move all my guys from
No, it's actually... He's
I'm
right
sad that
because...
you-
I'm now going to...
Volcanion is 721.
Yep, that's the only reason I know is because I have, like, as a collection thing I did at one point, I got one of every single thing and did all the boxes lined up in order, and there's not a spot for Volcanion, which makes me really sad.
I just started a whole new box because you're gonna have to eventually. But yeah, they're 721. National Dex is up to 722 if you count this new Mechanical Marvel bitch.
Wait, the Volcanion. What is it?
Volcanion?
Volcanion?
They just gave it out as a new distribution.
He's only
It's new?
He's only available until the 31st of October through GameStop.
Or EB Games. if
Then
you're
I'm not thinking of the right one. There's one in Sapphire and Ruby, I remember. It's like a camel that had volcanoes on its back.
Camerupt.
That's different?
Yes.
Yeah. Camerupt is awesome, though.
Why?
Why is it different?
Why is... So they made 2 volcano Pokemon?
Oh, there's
No.
there's several different volcano Pokemon.
No. Volcanion is not a volcano Pokemon. It is a steam-powered mechanical Pokemon.
Fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah, it's getting weird now.
It's getting weird. I'll
Getting?
admit that.
Kidding? Really?
We have sandcastles now.
Wasn't there like 3 Pokemon games ago they introduced keys?
No, that was the last one. That was
last
X and
generation.
Y. And then before that, we had Black and White, and we had Clink Clank and Clink Clank.
Fuck that.
Clink Clank
I
and
mean,
Clink
that-
Clank was not as bad as the vanilla ice cream cone Pokemon
Yeah, we had ice cream Pokemon too.
and garbage.
Did it come in different flavors?
Vanilla.
That's
But it
not
was
a
like
different flavor.
it was like a little scoop, and then you had a big scoop, and then you had a double big scoop.
Yep.
So not only are they not creative, they even failed at the one point they could have been creative on. It could have been a vanilla, and then a chocolate, and then a Neapolitan.
I wonder if the shiny is actually like chocolate. We should look that up. Hold on. I'm going to pull something up for you real fast.
Oh boy.
This is universally considered to be the worst Pokemon ever added into the game.
I thought the keys were the worst.
Oh no, they've
A lot of people like the keys.
Is it the sandcastle?
Nope.
So this is where I should.
Meet Trubbish.
Oh, the trash bag.
Yep. Who evolves into a broken
Garbage door.
trash bag. Yeah, it's the worst thing ever invented.
I don't know. That new... I only know it as Execute, but I know the evolved is Executor?
Executor.
You shut your whore mouth.
He's a giant fucking palm tree.
Long neck Executor is adorable. Just toss it.
Doesn't make sense to me.
I got it. Yay.
It's a palm tree.
Yes. He is adorable. You shut
He's a
your
palm
I-
tree.
No. Y'all, I guess this is the point where I'm old. It's just none of that shit makes sense to me.
Oh, it doesn't make any sense. That's never the idea.
The
with
point
those
is
games.
that they're running out of ideas.
I thought they ran out of ideas 300 Pokemon ago.
Actually, pretty much. I mean, after 4th Gen, to be honest, they basically created God in 4th Gen. Where do you go from there?
They did?
Arceus is Pokemon God.
But who made Arceus?
Arceus was the first because he had all the different plates.
But is he the first Pokemon or the first anything?
He's the first
Anything.
anything.
They actually at one point kind of explored what created Arceus and never gave an answer.
Arceus was the beginning. He created Mew.
So a Pokemon created Pokemon.
I mean,
And then we have Hoopa.
made in its own image.
Does it look like Mew?
No, it's a big ass horse looking thing.
With the wizard hat.
I'm out.
Pokemon's gotten weird. It's gotten weird.
I'm out.
I'll admit, there's a lot of weird ones.
Wait, I've actually got the cover for Arceus. It's right next
do
to
you?
Giratina. You can show Fred. Yep, yellow case right there.
This one?
Yep.
Why do you have these?
What do you mean, why do I have these?
That was a DVD case, if you're wondering.
Yep,
Yes.
that's Arceus.
The one in the middle?
Yes, the big white one.
You have a better picture on the back.
That's God.
Basically.
That's
God.
That's God.
No.
Contrary to popular belief, it's not Alanis Morissette.
I will not make
I don't-
any statements that it did not get weird at any point. It's been weird since day one, in my opinion. But the games are still fun and enjoyable to play.
Yeah, it's beyond me. It's so far beyond me that I can't even pay it attention anymore.
I played the demo for a little bit. It was fun. I'm excited about the new Greninja alternate form. I think that's kind of cool.
I'm not gonna ask.
It goes into Ash's Greninja, like from the anime.
It's just a little, it really
It's an
is
alternate
kinda
form of
gimmicky.
Greninja.
It's kind of gimmicky, to be honest, but I don't know. The demo's cool. It shows off a lot of the gameplay. It doesn't really show off anything too new, in my opinion.
Pokemon, at the end of the day, it's the same shit, different day. Beat the gyms, be the Pokemon champion, collect all the Pokemon.
Well, actually, this one doesn't have gyms. Now there are these trial things, and we don't know exactly how many there are.
What?
Yeah,
Hold
there's
up.
no gems.
I'm out. I'm out.
Part of the theorized story.
Wait, you played the demo. How did you not know this?
Because from what the demo is showing, the demo is not part of the main story. Because the main story is not going to explain that this kid is Ash's kid.
Wait, is that what you're supposed to be in the demo?
You're Ash's kid.
Oh.
Which means he is no longer fucking 10 years old.
But he's fucking 10-year-old,
Had a
apparently.
It's about time
But
he
yeah,
had
it's because if you played remember at the beginning of the demo, it shows that, I hope you take care of this Greninja. You guys have always been friends. And then it shows, no name. But then when you look at the Greninja, it's Ash's Greninja.
Well, I know that it's supposed to be his Greninja from the show, but I just figured it was like...
That's the stipulation is this is Ash's kid. They're tying it back to Red and Blue. It's the main characters from Red and Blue's son.
Okay, sure.
Sure. Yeah, that's my answer.
That's the stipulation.
Why the fuck
So,
not?
I mean, I'd retire to Hawaii. I mean, Alola.
Yeah, I'm going to Hawaii.
But I mean, it was fun. But yeah, there's this one's no gyms. Part of the theorized story of this new game is that what you're actually doing is you're going through all these trials, and you're basically finding people to become gym leaders and building the gyms yourself.
Interesting. I don't know.
That's part of the theorized story.
So
But,
that's something I've been playing this week. What you been playing, Fred?
Actually, before I get into that, because I got an awesome game I've been playing this week, I wanted to talk some backwards compatible games, because today the orange box was made backwards compatible.
Was
Wait,
it?
what?
Yeah. I knew you'd like that, Skyler.
Oh, I'm gonna go play Half-Life.
Yeah, it's backwards compatible now. But some of these backwards compatible games have been really fucking weird lately.
What else became backwards compatible?
Okay, tell me if you know this game. Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I do.
It's shit.
Oh yeah, but
It's
I know
one of the
what it
worst
is.
games on 360.
Why would they do that before Sid Meier's Revolution?
Why would you do that before any other game in their library? I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many great games that could be backwards compatible that aren't yet, which I know isn't necessarily on Microsoft. It's more the developers. Or
Maybe that's part of what's
publishers
holding
even.
them up. I think I just hit my mic.
But really, I don't even know who published Matt Hazard, but they decided, yeah, let's make sure that gets back into people's hands. It's weird, but yeah, we got
That's
the orange
stupid.
box.
Maybe they're
So-
just throwing as many titles as they can to try and build up the size of their library, quote unquote, so that they can get to a point and maybe say we have the biggest library.
most of their library right now is filler stuff like that. There's some great games in there, but there's some that are not so great.
Yeah.
So I will be playing that one. But this week, I've been playing ClusterTruck on Xbox One, which I'm sure people watching this have heard of ClusterTruck at this point. It kind of blew up all of a sudden. But it's a game about... It's basically the floor is lava, but instead of having furniture, it's moving trucks, semi-trucks. So you have to hop truck to truck and make it through these obstacle courses of chaos. It's a physics-based puzzle platformer, and it is amazing and difficult. Like, Skylar, I really think you would enjoy this because it's along the lines of something like Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, I've seen gameplay of it. I just don't have it and haven't played it myself. It
Yeah.
looks like a lot of fun.
I've been fortunate enough that I got the early copy. It comes out on the 27th on Xbox. You definitely need to look at.
I
picking that
probably
up.
will.
It is amazing, and I'm stuck on the final level.
I
It's-
know.
I actually...
Wait, you're already at the final level?
I've had it for a week.
I guess that's fair. I was gonna say because some of the levels I've seen are pretty freaking hard from the looks of them.
There are some I got stuck on, but that's why I compare it to Super Meat Boy. Once you get the cadence and the feel of the jumping and the maneuvering, it becomes easier through the
Okay.
middle sections. Because like I got to World 3 and I still wasn't quite used to it, and that was the hardest world until this final one.
Okay.
But after that, it forced me to get used to things. So from there on, it was pretty easy.
Nice, nice.
Oh, it is. Oh my god, it is so much fun. It is chaotic. Got a couple of achievement guide videos, by the way, if you want to check them out. Mindless walkthroughs, youtube.com/all that. Shameless plug.
Well, at least you said it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I love this game so much. But I am stuck on this final. In fact, I recorded the second to last level because I thought, oh my god, this is insane. Skylar will love to see this. And then I hopped into the last level. I'm like, I can't beat this.
I don't know why. I love those like platformers that are like that, where they're not meant to be impossible, but they're meant to be super, just like technical hard. That's why I loved Meat Boy. It's my favorite, like my proudest 100% is Super Meat Boy, because of all the levels in there were designed in a way where you could, if you knew how the game worked, you could easily see how to beat the level, and it was just execution. I love games that are like that.
That is most of this level until you get to the end. This end, I still don't know how to actually beat. Like, I've gotten pretty far into it, but I can't seem to figure out an end. Usually you'll see a goal from a long way off. It's like, oh, I can see way down there past this hell is my end goal. So I know where I'm going.
It's like the last level is just endless level. Get as far as you can.
Well, that would be okay, except that I keep dying and it keeps resetting me. I can't go forward. I can't. There's no completion. And I'm not getting the achievement for finishing the campaign.
Steve, you were looking up pizza and you were making me very hungry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were looking up ClusterTruck. I thought you were being productive.
I am being productive.
So do you know what ClusterTruck is?
Yeah, it's a platformer, like the floor is lava. Somewhere around the lines of Super Meat Boy.
Is that difficult or not?
What? For me, yes. I don't like those games, so they're very difficult for me.
But are they generally difficult games?
From listening to the two of you, yes. Listening to the two of you, yes, because he says that Super Meat Boy was his he said it was his proudest 100% because it was difficult for him.
I thought you were looking up gameplay for it, to be honest.
No.
I thought you were trying to allow yourself to contribute to the conversation. But
he's doing what we should be doing and getting ready for food.
Fuck that. I'll eat later. I've got a job to do.
I know. While you're looking that up, I have been playing a game that is by no means new, but technically just released about a month or two ago. Starbound is finally out of early access. I played it when it first came to early access and a couple times over its development. Holy cow, this game is a different game than I've ever played.
I still don't know what the hell Starbound is.
It's, for those of you that have played or seen Terraria, it's almost like Terraria meets No Man's Sky, except there's actually something to do.
See, when you describe it like that, it actually makes me interested. I'm actually in the same boat as Steve. I don't know anything about this game. I've heard of it, and it's been in early access for a long time now.
Right. When it first started, there was no real story. It was just progress. And similar to Terraria, it was basically get the materials, make the thing, go to the new place. Get the new materials, make the new thing. It still has a lot of that. It's that very Minecraft-esque grind. But what they've basically done with it is they've added in a story. They've added in all this like back-end stuff for progression. So it drops you out at first. It's very simple. The story is right off the bat, it's like Earth is destroyed. Go. You crashed on a planet. Your first job is just get your ship back in working order.
Okay.
And then from there, you get to go out, explore different. It just creates a universe for you to explore.
You were describing No Man's Sky, I want you to know.
Yes. That's why I say it's like Terraria meets No Man's Sky, because it's all 2D and pixel art, but it's huge and in-depth. And so you find weapons, and you go to different planets. Each one has its own hazards, and you build gear to survive the hazards. Each one has its own life cycle, its own wildlife that you can learn about and fight and eventually tame and have as pets.
Okay.
There's also, though, they've added in this whole storyline to it, so the entire time that you're out exploring,
right,
there's this one central hub that you keep going back to, and there's where all your big progression happens. So as you complete main quest missions, it unlocks more stuff. Eventually you can buy like hover bikes and upgrade your ship to be bigger.
A big problem I had, especially with Terraria, it's kind of that Minecrafty thing as well. I had a problem with that 2D. With the 2D aspect, I felt like I couldn't see what was going on around me.
It's very similar. The nice thing is this one allows you to kind of control your level of zoom on a very basic level, so you can zoom way out and see anything well before it can see you.
Okay. That was a big problem I have with Terraria, and maybe there is a zoom option, I'm just an idiot, but I kept running into things on accident. Like, I didn't want to fight this. It just appeared all of a sudden. Now I'm stuck fighting it.
Yeah,
and dying from it.
You can get around a lot. For the boss fights, I've definitely had to use that zoom out feature just because they'll go so far away. If you're not zoomed out, you don't know where it's coming from.
Gotcha.
But it's a really fun game. It's for people who wanted more out of No Man's Sky. If you can handle the 2D, I'm loving it. I mean, I'm still discovering new stuff.
Why'd you say it that way?
Well, I know you said you don't like that 2D style gameplay.
No. The way you said No Man's Sky.
What?
No Man's Sky was a beautiful game, and it was fun. It just didn't have a lot to it.
But that's what I mean. Like, if you want that more to it, that additional story, that additional depth.
You called it Newman Sky.
Did I call it Newman Sky?
Yeah.
What is?
Oh, No Man's Sky. Sorry.
That threw me off.
But it's
Newman.
like,
What?
that's how I describe it, because it's in this one you actually can hire a crew. Granted, the crew function is very basic, but I mean you can get your own crew, and you actually can go out and do things in this universe. Steve, what have you been playing?
By the way, that actually sounds. You've kind of sold me on that. I may have to pick it up. What
Oh,
is
I
it like?
love it.
Is it like $20?
It's either like 20 or 30. I think its price went up just a little bit because it finally like launched.
I might have to check it out.
The only thing I've really been playing this week, it's the only thing I really ever play, Destiny. We had hard mode drop. Or, I'm sorry.
Which we're doing tomorrow night.
Heroic mode dropped on the 18th.
And we have yet to play it.
We've yet to play it. The changes in there.
So before you get into it real quick,
I'm not going to tell. I'm not for.
No, hold on. Before you get into Destiny in general, I do want to say we all play Destiny a lot. So expect every podcast we'll spend some time talking about Destiny in some regard. Probably. So just a fair warning to everyone listening.
The hard mode changes. Some of the changes, scratch that. All of the changes for hard mode we thought they were putting in, they're not.
See, I'm interested to find out what they are.
All of the speculations, I've got them written down. I'm not sharing anything about hard mode until we start to beat our heads against the wall. They're all very blatantly obvious of what the changes are.
Yeah.
But they're not what we thought, and I like them. They make it to where you have to rethink that whole fight, which is what I wanted in a hard mode. Whereas Oryx, it was... He started throwing new... War Priest threw new attacks at you. Golgoroth added the yellow explosion.
Oh yeah, Golgoroth was different than normal.
Yeah, it was.
It was. You had that yellow explosion
that.
Where somebody had to get out of there, and Oryx added the extra night. But I like this raid better anyway, because while it has, to me, it has more working parts than Oryx, it's not as complicated. It's not as everybody has to be alive. If one person dies, you don't have to wipe.
Well,
on hard mode, that'll probably be a lot more severe because there's no reviving. But I do agree with what you're saying. Even on normal Oryx, if one person dies, it's basically you might as well wipe.
Yeah.
Up to Axis, I think, the final boss.
Yeah.
At that point, if you die, well, in the first phase maybe not, but in the second phase, if one person dies, kind of depending on when.
But when they die, if they die during Shanks, you're okay.
Yeah, but
if they die after he's teleported that first time, it's going to be hard.
If you die during Captain Round, it's going to be hard.
I
mean, if you
I've
die
seen
at any
us
point,
recover from it though. That's the thing is, I've seen us recover from it enough times. There's no recovering in Oryx.
See, and we made one hell of a recovery last night
in phase 1. Having played with groups, I mean, we play with different groups of different skill levels.
We play with two dramatically.
Having played with a group that's not great at recovering when someone goes down, one death is a wipe.
Yeah.
Especially in that second phase. The first phase, we can kind of figure it out.
With
but
what group. Like the group that we were playing with last night,
we had
in TV round, one of us died. I yelled out wipe. Somebody else said, no, fuck that. Went and burned a clean room and then revived all of us. And then we
That
won
was
it
me.
next
I
round.
yelled, let's burn.
No,
I yelled last night?
No, he wasn't on last night.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I'm thinking of the time.
Yeah, we've done it multiple times where one person has revived the entire fucking team and we've rallied.
There was one time where, for Skyler, because he wasn't part of this group, there was one time at the TV where everyone had died from various things, like throughout the round, but we had his health down to the smidgen. We were like, okay, he's almost dead. We don't need another safe room. Everyone died at once. I was last guardian standing. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to see if I can get everyone up. Got the safe room, got half the people up. The other half were still dead. But we covered the room until those other people got up. Killed them.
Yeah.
Like,
Basically, what happened is this was
awesome.
like it wasn't even like the last rotation. This was like maybe 2 rotations
Second to
in.
last or something like that. Yeah.
4 people died, and it was Steve and another guy were left alive.
No, I was dead.
Oh, Steve was dead. There was 2 people left alive. So one person was just like, wipe, and the other guy said no, and he went into the clean room. And he comes out and he just starts reviving people, and he's like, I got a self-res, and he just reses and revives everybody else. We burned like 1 wave of bombs, and then we did it. Just perfectly fine,
Yeah.
like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
So-
Well, if you have a team that can recover, yeah, there's a lot
That's
of great
the thing.
things. But I think that the majority of people running the raid who aren't, super good, I don't
Yeah.
like to think we're very good, but we are all 385 prior to the
Hard mode.
prior to hard mode dropping, which did increase the light level. We are on the upper echelon of players, at least in terms of light level.
I'll agree, but there's still so many times. I mean, you hear me constantly whenever we do the raid. Oh, this is probably a wipe, and then it's not, just because I'm so used to that mentality of
With Oryx, it's a
yeah,
wipe.
if something's just not going well, it's probably a wipe. Like the best example is the Mad Max section, the Death Zamboni.
Yeah.
90% of the time when we beat it, I'm dead certain that we took too long.
Yeah, that one's a little weird
So
in that regard, because it's hard to tell when you're taking too long or not until you're already there.
But there's been plenty of times, like last night, we probably had the one we completed it. We had it 3 separate moments where most of the team was dead,
yeah,
and then we still managed to complete it in time.
there is something else I do want to bring up with hard mode. I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. The German team getting world's first.
I saw why.
Because this is what I don't like. Because that same glitch happened to us when we were
Yeah.
playing with Foss, where
It
I
has
jumped
happened to
off
us.
the Zamboni and it instantly wiped us.
Because
That's what happened to Fire. Okay, so right after the first, when he breaks down that front wall, you jump off the Zamboni a little too early. I'm assuming it wipes you.
if only one person runs too far ahead too quickly. If everyone runs at the same time, it won't do it. But if one person goes too far, the game thinks that there is somebody who is beyond the checkpoint and they shouldn't be there.
And
So
it
it's an
wipes.
anti-cheating system.
So that's what happened to Fire Team Redeem. They were in the lead by 10 minutes. That happened to them, and they had to start the entire encounter over. It wiped them, and they got 3rd place for World's First. And the whole internet has been blowing up the fact that they got cheated by a glitch. Nobody is congratulating this other team for fucking doing it. And that's really pissing me off.
Well,
Yeah,
they
I
say
mean,
the
no-
whole internet, it is just Destiny community. And it's
Oh,
actually
no,
the diehard
Kotaku,
Destiny.
IGN,
They've featured it, but
they feature.
the
But it's
people
still
blowing
the
up
fact
are
that
the Destiny hardcore players.
the big boy, the on Twitch, the big boy, the leaders of our community, Gathalion, Broman, Cheriona, Gunny, all of them have been nothing but supportive to these. They're not this German team. They're not streamers, and you may like this. Their actual clan name translates to the bus drivers.
Yeah, I saw that.
The clan name is the bus drivers
That's
in German.
amazing.
For reference, that's my PSN gamer tag, or
So-
my name on PlayStation.
Was it?
Yeah,
Is
the
bus driver.
Bus driver
Oh, wow.
2210.
Yeah.
But they're doing nothing but congratulating these guys. It wasn't.
I mean,
Redeem did it
great.
flawlessly, minus that one snafu. They got 3rd. Sorry, game broke for you. Life happens.
Yeah.
This other team, they did it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I've had nothing but support from them. They did it. They don't stream. They did fantastic. They did it.
Yeah,
So
no,
what
that's
you
impressive.
said you were upset about something though.
Because
What-
the whole world is saying, oh, well, they only got it because Redeem's Fire Team got glitched.
oh, so you're mad because
Because
No, they're
nobody's
not
congratulating them. They're all saying, well, you only got it on technicality.
Fans are always
Well,
going to be
you know
that
what?
way. I mean, look at the riots that happen after every soccer game.
I mean,
Yeah.
a win is a win. It doesn't matter. They got it.
yeah, but like Skyler said, it's just a blanket mentality that some people, especially people who are diehard into a certain group or scene, like Destiny, yeah, they're gonna bitch and moan. It's the way it
that's-
is.
So, but
That's how.
It's
That's
kind of like the. I mean, granted, they said they wanted to be like Vault of Glass. Well, that's kind of like in Vault of Glass, how Bungie wouldn't even recognize the first team to complete Vault of Glass because they did it by pushing Atheon off a cliff. They didn't do the vault right.
yeah, I remember hearing about that.
I actually don't.
So, but I
It
just
was
wanted
a
to
big
get,
issue. Like
I wanted
right
to get
when
that
Vault of Glass hit.
I
out
wasn't.
of my system.
Yeah, I wasn't part of the Destiny. I wasn't playing Destiny at that point. I still don't consider myself part of a Destiny community. I play the game, but that's about it. And I enjoy the game, and I help a lot of people with the game, but
to be honest, though, you're really not as invested in the community as much as I am.
no, not at all.
It depends. I mean, I feel like the thing that I like about Destiny is you can connect with and have a lot of fun with people regardless of how into the community they are, per se.
Because the community is actually very large.
Oh, yeah.
Its
I mean,
central
millions of
hub
players.
is on Twitch. That's kind of where the whole community, it's center ported. The capital is, if you will, is on Twitch. And that's where we all kind of gravitate back to, is that one core group of streamers that's held this community together.
I don't know. I kind of feel like the players are the ones holding the community together.
Yeah.
The streamers are impressive, but
the streamers are present, but the streamers are kind of, they're the leaders.
Yeah, but what about the Ishtar Collective? People who don't stream, who just put lore together, who have included millions of people, or I say millions, probably hundreds of thousands of people, have gotten them into it because they've put the lore together in a way that has enticed them.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean they're not streamers. What I'm saying is,
let me change this then. Content creators. I feel like that's more.
I think that's actually,
Yeah.
That's what they do refer to themselves as anyway, is content creators.
I feel like it's easy to attach things to that. I really feel, though, like I would actually say you are part of the Destiny community, Fred, because to me, the Destiny community isn't necessarily these hubs of players. It's the fact that it's people who play. It's just the other day, I went out to like a little pumpkin patch thing with my sister-in-law because she wanted to go do like the hay bale rides. And just some random person there, I happened to be wearing that Moments of Triumph shirt, comes up and, hey, what console are you? Huh? What console are you? And it was just, all of a sudden, just some random guy. Me and him just started laughing our asses off about year 2. Out of nowhere. And to me, that's the Destiny community. It's the fact that it's all these people who want to find other Destiny players.
Sure.
okay. I guess the reason I've never had that experience out in public.
Okay.
So I guess that's why I feel a little disconnected from it in that regard. And I certainly don't look up Twitch streamers, although I have been watching some of the Destiny YouTube creators on YouTube
Yeah.
lately. But yeah, I guess that's why I say I don't feel as part of the community, because I don't participate in the community.
I
ever.
guess that's fair. I mean, it's, to me, I feel like that's the community, because that's like how I met that, I won't say is that whole gamer tag, but that Sonic guy.
Oh, yeah.
Literally just met him walking around on campus and saw he was playing on an Xbox.
So you mean I'm part of a team?
Yes, you're part of the team.
Am I part of your club now? Do you guys love me?
Steve, can we let
Is
in
this
the
a
club?
heartfelt moment?
You've always been number one, baby.
You know it.
So I wanted to get that off my chest. It's something that's been really grinding under my skin for the last couple of days. That, you know what? Congratulations, bus drivers, or however the hell you say it in German. You guys did it.
Congratulations to both teams. I mean, it's impressive either way.
Redeem still got third.
Why aren't we talking about the legend himself? He got number 2.
Huh? Who?
Who? Huh? What? The legend himself was the clan that got number 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Congrats to them. I don't care. I care about third place and first place. You guys suck.
So it just
Fuck second.
But in running the raid, I did, previous to this, I was watching all the different ways, and I actually put that dark drinker theory to the test. That the dark drinker with weapons of light and tether does way more damage than anybody else.
That's actually partially why I started watching a bunch of content creators for Destiny. I was watching Dado Does Destiny, great YouTube channel if you're interested in Destiny.
He's fantastic.
He did kind of a weapons comparison, showing what does the most damage. And this gets hardcore into, we got to optimize every moment of Destiny. But it was a cool look at just how different the weapons affect each of the bosses in the raid compared to other encounters in just regular PvE.
Yeah.
It's like Dark Drinker is a sword, it's a Void class sword that it's really not great outside of this raid, but for some reason in this raid
It's
very
fantastic.
important. It's the most powerful weapon you can carry into this raid.
Well, that's kind of the funny
It's weird.
thing with Destiny is all of a sudden there'll be like one thing that is the best thing to use for this one encounter and nothing else.
Yeah.
See, like for me, in the Oryx raid, Black Spindle was the best for Golgoroth, because you had such a large target, so close, and Black Spindle was such a high DPS weapon to me.
Yeah, but I can't say for sure. I think I remember doing more damage than you, generally. And I just use 1,000-yard stare.
It also depends too. I mean, what I've always said with Destiny is the best gun to use is the one you do best with.
Yeah,
See,
that is
and
a
I
good
found that
philosophy.
me when I was my Titan, popping that bubble and then just unloading all of my sword ammo right there at his feet. That was fun. That was actually more fun than sitting there stressing out. Am I hitting him in the head?
Yeah.
That was way more fun. So I figure if we get a couple of people up there with Dark Drinker,
A big problem
I
with
just
that.
realized something.
What's up?
We're going to have to explain to Roxy that she was right about using swords.
God damn
she
it.
doesn't have. She. I've already explained it to her.
She has Dark Drinker.
No, she doesn't. That's the one she doesn't have. She has
Oh,
Boltcaster
no.
because she started with Boltcaster.
No, I know the sequence. I know it was the last. I could have sworn
She doesn't have Dark
her and
Drinker.
JJ.
A little bit
I don't
of
mean to name drop people.
little
here,
bit of
but
exposition here. Just don't give the full names, I guess, but a little bit of exposition here. Roxy is just a friend of ours we play with.
She
who
loves
for
swords.
Every single time we've played with her, we have to explain why the sword is not the best thing to use.
She doesn't. They all told her that you need Raise Lighter. Raise Lighter is the best one that you can get, and in most
because
PvE,
it was.
in most PvE, yes, it is because it can 1 or 2 shot the yellow bars. Dark Drinker, on the other hand, it shreds those captains quicker than any of my supers.
Any non-Destiny players out there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've gone completely off.
If you want, I will let you know when we're done with Destiny talk.
But the Dark Drinker, it tears them apart. It tears that last encounter apart. So a Titan running Bubble can use the Dark Drinker and moderately be safe.
Yeah.
Moderately, because it does take two swings, and my sword's at 384. So it takes 2 full swings to wipe something out.
Yeah. Well, and it's actually not great against just general ads in the raid. It's only great against the bosses for some reason.
Death Zamboni, when we're in the trench and they all pop up at once,
Yeah, when they're all close, I guess.
because they're all close enough.
because they're all close enough.
But in general, it's not great.
it's not fantastic. But like Skyler said, whatever weapon you're most comfortable with, and I feel like each encounter you can use a specific weapon. It's like a tool. Every job has a specific tool, and I feel like Dark Drinker is a little bit more relevant in this run
I guess
than it
it's
was
just,
before.
I guess I like that they're moving away from the one gun trumps all because, and I'm sad to say, I looked it up just after seeing like the Dark Drinker stuff. It pains me so much anytime that I go to LFG or any of those and you see in the tag, must have this weapon.
Yeah, that's...
Anytime I see that, I almost always just want to take a screenshot, send it to that person of me with the weapon, and then say, I'm not joining you. It is just, it's the most elitist thing.
Yeah, that's the side of the Destiny community that I hate. That's the one reason why I would hesitate to call myself part of the Destiny community is because when I think the community, sadly, I think of those assholes, and they're not even a majority.
No, I mean...
But they're loud enough to bother me.
Yeah, and every community has those people.
Of course. So speaking of things that we don't really like about Destiny, Steve kind of made this mention. This actually is not this is a great segue. Segue master.
Come on, Segway Master.
So, there is a glitch in Wrath of the Machine where you can, without fighting any bosses, you can break into the raid.
So I've heard, I've not actually seen it, though.
And you can collect all of the bonus chests
Okay.
without having to fight any bosses or anything. So you can do it solo. You can only do it with you can only do it with a hunter and a titan. Warlocks just can't make the jumps.
Sure.
Sorry, Steve.
But you can glitch out of it right at the beginning, before you even activate Vossix. So you can do it solo.
Challenge accepted, by the way.
I've already done it.
No, with the Warlock.
No, you actually can't. Like, the Warlocks can't get quite high enough for some of the jumps.
Sure.
It's been tried.
Challenge accepted.
You can try. It's not easy. It's actually, the glitch is more difficult than just running the raid. Let me put it that way for you.
All right, well, fuck that shit.
As a hunter who is great at jumping at stuff with Bones of AO, it took me longer to do that than it would have to beat the entire raid. But at the beginning, it's the giant servitor eye.
Sure.
There's a way of climbing around it, so you end up on top of it. And then once you're on top of it, you got to do some like sword climbing, do some weird sword tricks, but you end up on top of the wall that runs along the whole area. And then if you fall in behind the wall, I just hit my mic. If you fall in behind the wall, then it'll spawn you in. It'll just teleport you inside the raid, and then you have to die, and it'll spawn you inside.
Okay.
And there's actually 2 separate places. So you have to do it once to get into the first area to get the first 2 chests before the TV fight with Vosik.
Sure.
Then you have to do the whole thing again, run past the Vosik thing, and then glitch back in to get the rest of the chests. So you have to do it twice, and each time is really difficult. But you can get all the chests.
Why don't we just fucking run the raid?
Exactly. I mean, it's easier to just run the raid. I say this because in the past, actually recently, you've said that glitching out of the map, like I like to do. Little context, I love glitching out of the map in Destiny because it's possible and it's so much fun. And there are no benefits to breaking out of the maps.
That's true.
It's just for exploration and to say that I can do it.
The one thing I can say that is bad about glitching out of the map is the echo chamber ghost on Xbox.
I was gonna bring that up. That is the only instance where I can think that glitching out of the map can possibly get you something. It's 5 Grimoire points. It's a dead ghost it's in the echo chamber, which if you don't know is PlayStation exclusive right now.
Which we won't get until Destiny 2.
Yeah, it's something that's not available to Xbox players, so the only way to get the ghost that's in there is to glitch into it.
Is that the only ghost not available to Xbox players right now?
Yeah.
What about the exotic weapons?
No, there's still some of those.
No, the Zen
But
Meteor, the Jade Rabbit and the Zen Meteor are 2 Grimoire cards that are still locked on Xbox players.
But
So
they're
no
not
matter-
actually worth
okay.
points.
Yeah.
They're not worth points?
Yeah, they
No.
are. Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. None of the exotic weapons are
Really?
worth points. Mhm.
Okay.
I've done an extensive list of which ones I'm missing recently.
Okay.
Because I got bored. But so that's why you have called this cheating before, glitching out of the maps.
Sure.
I completely disagree with that statement because there's no bonus to be had. This, I would say, is the closest
Sure.
you get.
If it's harder than
But-
running the actual raid, it's not cheating. It's being
I
stupid.
just I also just don't find glitching out of the maps. I don't find that enjoyable. That's
Well,
just my personal.
It's not
Which is
for-
why I never take you to do it because I know you don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love it. I've been doing it since Halo 2. I've been breaking games, glitching out of maps, finding the just goofy things. And in Halo 2, it was absolutely cheating.
the super bounce.
Well, it was cheating. It was flat out cheating.
Oh, yeah.
But I never did it in multiplayer because, one, it's actually pretty hard to pull off in multiplayer. And I did it in campaign just for fun.
That's the one time when I'll say breaking out of the map for me is unacceptable. If you get out of the map in a multiplayer match, you are the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, that is terrible. That is flat out cheating, and I hate that. Which I don't think you can glitch out of the maps in Destiny. At least it hasn't been found.
There was a couple of spots that you could with specific items.
But I think those have been fixed.
It's
Yeah.
been fixed now, but
Bungie's been pretty good about as soon as they see something like the hunter tether for constant using it.
Yeah, that glitch was.
oh, they shut that down.
They shut
fast.
that when they find shit like that. They shut it down pretty quick.
Because that was blatant terrible.
Didn't they-
That was bad.
Didn't
But
they just disable the whole subclass until you could?
No,
They
took away-
disabled that perk for a little
That's
while.
what it was. They disabled the perk, so you just couldn't
and they
even
got rid
use
of trials. They canceled trials that weekend
Yeah,
Yep,
because of it.
people were using it.
But yeah, so you can climb in and get all the chests. Just the bonus chests. You can't get any of the raid drops. But I've been doing that. And actually, after doing it the first couple times, it doesn't take as long. It still takes about 30 minutes, which is still longer than if
See,
you just.
we can get past TVs in 30 minutes.
Well, you can get you can get into the diamond room, the 4th monitor room.
Yeah.
You can get into that, but you can't go past that because just like the fucking Gorgon maze in Atheon, that door requires at least 6 people.
Yep.
So you can't solo this raid, which was a sad discovery. But it does require at least 6 people to open that door, so you can't.
I thought it required. Wait, really? Because I
No,
thought it
it
required
requires
just
it.
your fire team. Because wasn't there a group
No.
that 3-man access?
No.
Yes, but they had 6 people get them in, and then 3 left.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
how they've been
so
doing
they
it so
only
far.
3-man the boss.
They've actually 2-manned it now.
Yeah.
They've been able to 2-man it. But that's
Which I can
yeah.
see is doable. One guy runs cannons, the other guy runs.
Oh, that's another thing. In watching Destiny stuff lately, I've been watching some of the crazier shit, like speedrunning, people have already beaten Oryx in under 20 minutes. Or the record right now is 20 minutes, 22 seconds.
For
Wrath of the Machine.
yes,
The entire raid.
held by Clan Redeem.
No, Legend himself.
Was it Legend himself?
Yeah, Clan Redeem got 20 minutes, 44 seconds.
Okay.
And Legend himself got it in like 20 minutes, 20 seconds.
Then I know
like
they
that.
just beat it because 2 days before the hard mode came out, Redeem they had the world record, and I think Legend himself came in and beat it right after them.
I don't know.
Redeem were the first one to do it. Yeah, they fucking did it in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Legend
Now,
himself did it in 20 minutes.
Was it a legitimate speedrun in 20 minutes, or was it a glitch through in 20 minutes?
It was legitimate.
Okay.
The only glitch he used was after they had put in all the parts on the siege machine. Instead of waiting for it to bust through the wall, they used the hole in the wall to get behind the wall ahead of time. But they had to do the whole siege machine part in order for that to work anyway.
Okay.
So the only part they skipped technically was the siege machine smashing the wall and then falling off the bridge. They just skipped that part.
Okay. See, I find that's okay. If they went through the effort of doing it instead of just waiting for it to plow through that wall, I'm okay with that. They legitimately did the activity. They just skipped the waiting.
Yeah, you actually can't, even though there's a glitch, you can skip past those walls. You can't get any farther because the game won't register the checkpoint that you've beaten the siege machine
Yeah.
until you actually beat it.
So.
Which
It's
is
weird
another
all the
reason.
stuff they have to put in to stop cheating. When
Well,
you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do, especially in a game as complex as Destiny with all the movements they have.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
That's
intense.
honestly the most interesting part is because you have such a dynamic range of movement, it makes the raids unlike any other raid I've ever seen.
Oh, that was actually, speaking of Siege Machine, that was one really cool part is glitching into it, the walls don't appear at all. The Siege Machine doesn't appear at all.
Really?
Just all gone, as if you had already done it and it was all taken care of. Just all gone, which was really cool.
Interesting. I guess because it hasn't loaded the assets yet.
And I think this is a failsafe by them, because you can get up to the 4th monitor glitching. The canisters in the diamond room do not appear if you glitch into it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. See, I almost feel like that's something where maybe it is them just trying to have a failsafe in case people glitched in.
And actually, the monitors that give you the binary code don't appear. You have zero way of doing it.
It's Bungie's failsafe.
I think it's a failsafe. It may just be because there's a checkpoint that has to trigger for that stuff to spawn. I don't know.
Well, that's probably
Could
the
be
easiest
anything.
way to do it is just trigger X point and then spawn these entities.
Or maybe it's a checklist, because you actually run through. At that point, you're legitimately in the raid. You're running just through the normal stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what triggers it, but all the canisters in that diamond room were gone. It was really creepy looking.
Weird. Ah, so that's what all those screenshots were of.
That one
I
of
was
our
wondering.
buddies.
I saw that on the feed. And
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of screenshots of that room.
That was one of our buddies took a bunch of the screenshots. He led me through it. He was the one who showed me how to get in.
But I can say that we will get you through it on normal mode this week, because I still got to finish it with my Warlock.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do the raid. We're gonna do hard mode this week, man.
Yeah, we're going to do hard mode this weekend, too.
I was,
forward to it.
by the way, sorry, I'm jumping back to it. I was so fucking pissed. I went through, got all the chests on my hunter, who hadn't done the raid this week yet, and I got an exotic. But I had my fucking raise lighter out, because it's the only sword I had, and it was 310. So my light level was like 370.
Oh no.
So I got a 372 truth. Like, motherfucker.
Yeah, that sucks. I do
But-
wish that.
Hey, you know what? I broke my way into it, so I'll take it.
Final little bit of Destiny talk before we move on.
Yeah.
They need to make it so that there's just a static number tracked in the background, and all it is just the highest light level you've ever gotten to.
No.
Why?
They need to have that and just say, okay, you hit 386. Anything you decrypt from now on acts like you're 386. The rest of the game, no. I'm tired of having to just hold on to specific guns that I don't want to use right now because I don't want to infuse them.
Oh, I see
But
what
I
you're
need
saying.
to get I need to get higher drops.
You know what? I actually can agree with that, especially after this raise lighter moment I had. Because I'm not gonna level up any of my maybe Dark Drinker now.
I would at
But-
least,
But
it's like-
at least like if you get a Sound and Fury, if when we run the normal mode, you get another Sound and Fury at like 380 something, at least put that into Dark Drinker, at least to try it. And if you don't like it, you've tried it. You can say you legitimately don't like it.
My
Well,
whole
I've
issue
used
is,
swords before. I mean,
my whole issue
I
is
used
like
to use them.
using Dark Drinker, for instance. You want to use that sword. The burn this week for the strikes is Void, so I'm trying to use Void weapons. I hit my mic again.
Void for the heroic strikes, Solar for the Nightfall.
So for the Nightfall, I want to use Solar.
Fuck doing the Nightfall this week.
My highest light level weapons are not all Solar. So when I beat the Nightfall, it's going to rank me, or it's going to give me loot at a lower light level than my actual light level.
I have that same problem with running like the Zalo Supercell, which has an arc burn
Right.
on the gun. Yeah, I hate having to use that because it's 365. Because I'm not gonna spend the materials to level it up when I could be leveling up the stuff I want to use.
Right. That's my whole point. Is it's just
You know what? That's that for that reason alone. That's why I agree. It should mark at least when you hit like every 5 levels. Have a mark. Say, okay, you made it to 385. We'll give you stuff that's above 385 if the gear's supposed to drop higher.
maybe. I mean, it's just because the gear is determined by your current light level. I hate the idea that my drops are lower because I'm using the guns that I should be using.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with that.
I mean, it's just, you get the feeling. I'd love to just be able to sit there and just like mash the decrypt button instead of having to go each individual one
Yeah.
and then look at it. But whatever, first world Destiny problems.
So enough Destiny talk. We
Yeah,
actually
we've been
don't have
on
a
this
whole
for
lot left to talk about, but we do got a little bit more.
I'll let
Did we?
you go first then.
Did
What
we?
else do we have? I think that was it. I think that was Destiny was our last.
I thought we had something else.
I know it was the last kind of big hoorah for us that we've been doing.
Yeah, that's all I've really been doing this week was Pokemon and.
I mean, I've been playing.
Oh, I did get my first shiny this week. Going back to Pokemon,
Wait, what? You got your first shiny?
I got my first legitimate shiny in the wild.
Oh my god! When you take you out for drinks, this is like your 21st birthday, man. This is a big deal.
It was a Gloom.
I like Gloom.
I got a Gloom. Sorry, Fred. I had to
It's
share
a
it.
stinky plant.
I've been shit.
I know what a Gloom is.
I've been saving that all week. I was like, oh my god, I need to save this. I got my first shiny, legitimately in the wild.
That's like a rite of passage for Nintendo games for whatever reason. Everyone remembers their first shiny.
I forgot it. That's it. But yeah, I think Destiny was the last little hoopla. That was the last on my list, at least.
Was it? I thought...
I mean, I've been playing the BioShock collection, mostly because I just haven't had internet for a little while.
I think that was it. You covered most of the games I know you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, the only other thing I've done this week is I did start a challenge for myself. I kind of told y'all about this before.
Oh, yeah.
But I've started a little challenge. 1 movie a day. So I went through and made a list of all the movies that I should have seen by now but haven't. And going through 1 movie a day. Watching them.
So what was your movie today?
I haven't watched one today.
You haven't watched one today?
So
You
I
better
gotta
get to
watch one
work.
tonight.
What was your movie yesterday?
Yesterday was Nightcrawler.
Okay, yep. I can agree with that one. That's one you definitely need to see.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal is actually the only star in the movie. Otherwise, it's all B actors. But that was phenomenal. A Nightcrawler is those people who they're basically ambulance chasers. They look for tragedy, film it, and then try to sell it to news anchors so they can show the news. And it's a guy who's almost psychotic.
Yeah.
In his determination to be successful, that he becomes one of these night crawlers because he saw one guy do it and make money. So he's like, okay, I'm going to start doing that now. And he's so goal oriented and business focused, but it's kind of a cool crime thriller thing. It's actually a phenomenal watch. It's a little slow. The first half is pretty slow, but the second half is phenomenal.
Really?
Like when it kicks off, it goes nuts.
I know the
Loved
premise.
it.
That's one I've never actually seen, so I'll have to add that to my list.
Absolutely. Maybe that's what I'll do. Every week, I'll just tell you what movie I've watched and we'll recommend a movie.
I've just been going back and watching the Pokemon X and Y series.
I'll have you know, none of those are on... I thought you said the movies. Never mind.
No.
No, he means the X and Y series.
The
which
X
I
and
think
Y
actually
series
are on Netflix.
Yes, those are on Netflix. And Hoopa is on Netflix.
What is?
Hoopa.
What is that?
Okay, I actually... Which one is...
It's the latest movie.
Oh, that's a Pokemon.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was like an animated movie thing.
No, Hoopa is like a demonic genie.
Yeah,
demonic genie.
I've that's one that even like I think I remember the distribution, and that's about it for that thing now.
Yeah. The movie sucked. It's the worst one out of all of them.
By the way, if anyone's curious, tonight I'm going to be watching a movie called Bronson, starring Tom Hardy. Go look it up. We can talk about it next week.
Okay.
Okay, will that be the club? You know, I know what we can end on. Steve, what pizza did you get us?
I didn't get anybody pizza. I got me wings. Hawaiian teriyaki.
Oh, cool. So
You're a bitch.
guess that's what we're going to be doing now.
Yeah, you got something there?
Do I look like a bitch?
I can see the clock trying to turn.
You bought pizza while we're
I
recording
didn't
the
buy
podcast,
pizza. I got wings.
and you didn't get any for us. So right now, yes, you look like a bitch.
Yeah. You a bitch.
Hey, Fred,
you
you
a
wanna go
bitch.
get some
I buy the beer every time.
No,
you don't
you didn't-
drink, so that's your fault.
You didn't buy me this beer. I stole this beer.
But the last couple of times you said, Steve, buy me beer. Steve's bought you beer.
Because you had owed me for something.
Like what? No.
I don't remember.
for being a bitch.
You did owe me over a bet at one point.
Okay.
But you had paid that back. And
Yes.
then you bought beer for another reason. I can't remember why.
Because we were hanging out.
Well, that's your fault.
I seem to be the only one providing the alcohol, and since you don't drink, you can't partake. Which reminds me, I've actually got to go to the liquor store tomorrow. When we're doing the hard mode raid, I'm actually going to play my drinking game.
Actually, funny enough, this has never happened in one of our podcasts. I haven't finished my beer.
Slacker.
Well, because I've been talking. I've had so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a very fun podcast.
So,
I think we did okay for our first one.
Well, someone's going to let us know, hopefully.
Yes. Please leave all your suggestions in the comments below. And if they're mean, we'll just ignore you.
No, if you're mean, we'll ban you.
Well, no, because then we'll lose our one viewer.
Sucks to be you.
yeah,
Oh.
my gears are slowing down. I'm out of stuff.
Yeah, I can tell by how long it took you to say, do I look like a bitch?
My gears are slowing down. I'm out of stuff to say.
Well, I think we're all getting tired. Should we go get some dinner?
Yeah, probably should. Desynced out! I'm not going to end on that. I'm sorry.
Peace out, bitch!
We're going down the drain fast, so.
We're going down the sink. Ayo. I'm ending on that.